Cloudy with a Chance of Heisting by T. High. Sitting in the stillness of her austere metallic living room, Sunita stares out the window at the cloud as it pulses, sending sparks of pink, blue, purple, and yellow across the sky. It hums softly. Last century, the cloud was the nickname given to the vast network of physical servers housed in data centers that maintained Internet users' data. Now, those servers were housed in clusters of quantum fog tethered miles above the city, in literal clouds. Sunita isn't sure exactly how this system of nanotech works, but she doesn't think she'll need to know that to pull off the job. Figuring out how to scale the electrical tethers and navigate the data files unseen is enough to worry about without getting into the weeds. With the glow of the message highlighting her clustered coffee table, Sunita scans the contents of the archived bubble text sent by the buyer. The instructions are clear. No digital extraction. In the cloud, files exist as unstable clusters of nanotech. Any remote attempt to copy or download them causes the data to collapse into noise, so access requires direct contact with the cluster. Therefore, if Sunita wants that file and the payoff, she'll have to steal it in person before the system detects her. Her eyes move to the amount offered, 10 mil in gold glow coins. She murmurs, "That much for M-Jax's voice bank of oral bloopers?" She mentally replays the singer's latest hit and shrugs. I don't think her voice is worth all that, but whatever. She begins reciting her outgoing bubble text to her crew. Before Sunita can finish, her room fills with bubbles. The translucent spheres bump against the low ceiling, pulsing like jellyfish. She pops a black one. Jazzer. Not interested in reading the message, she taps conference mode on the hollow avatar and listens. "Yo, we scaling to the cloud, man?" Sunita opens her mouth, but a pink bubble flies towards her face. She pops it, taps conference mode, and watches Sky's avatar materialize, pink light washing over the Teflon floor. The hologram's soft voice wafts from the projection. "The cloud, like, I don't know, Sam, like..." "You never know, man," Jazzer smirks. "Hello, my people." Ren's voice emits from a green bubble. Conference mode. "While I know excitement is probably high, I do want to caution. Yo, Ren, zip it. We already got Sky throwing wet blankets on the program." Sunita sighs. "You know you're all going to do it, so let's just skip all this and generate a plan." She sets the avatars in a holder on her coffee table. "Jazzer, you're hacking up the schematics, right?" 72 hours later, Sunita and her crew meet in the vacant lot under the cloud. Sky fingers her cotton candy-colored tutu while looking up at the facility. "So, like, we're seriously gonna do this, huh?" Clothed head to toe in camel style, Ren groans and tilts his head. "It is actually more like a cumulus, but yes." He introduces a girl clad in an iridescent jumpsuit. "Everybody, this is my cousin Kat, who is an expert on M-Jax. She will be helping with any security related to the celebrity's music, as we saw on the schema." Everybody nods while Jazzer hands out the gear bags. "The jetpacks will get us 7 miles up, man, but we gotta climb the other 3 like I said." Sunita buckles her holster. "And you're sure the kinetic dampers will keep us from getting fried?" She looks at the velveteen wristbands wrapped around her arm joints, glances at the velveteen ankle bands circling her lower leg joints. "Pretty sure." At Sky raising an eyebrow and opening her mouth, Jazz firmly says, "Quite sure, man." 7 miles up, Jazzer confirms. "Gravity steady." His eyes trace the cable's coils. "If we move slowly, we could ride the field currents." Sunita clips her harness to the steel and plasma line, then speaks into her mouthpiece. "Then let's take it easy." The climb feels like wrestling a lightning bolt. Each step along the glowing tether sends shocks of static through their boots. Thunder rumbles below, and the current in the cable hums like a chorus. Mist swirls around them. Every foot higher, the cloud's hum becomes clear. At 9.95 miles, Sky loses her footing and drops several feet, the cable stinging her with every bump. As she scrambles, swinging miles in the air, Sunita lowers herself and raises her crew member up and onto the cloud's mist-like edge. Here, it looks like the famed pea soup fog of London. All crew members bend over, hands on knees, gulping in the thick air. Sky and Sunita trembling at the close call. Jazzer pulls up the air schema and points. From here, we enter the cloud's obstacle course, the first obstacle being the ladder, which leads to the audio level where M. Jackson's bank is kept. Remember, we have to climb as steady as no metronome ticks. If anyone's off by so much as a nanosecond, we could be caught, man. The crew nods, all faces serious. Sky, as the timekeeper savant, you lead and count for us in your mouthpiece, Sunita instructs. We don't want anyone missing a step because we're looking at our hollow clocks. Sky nods and fingers her tutu again before stepping forward, the other members lining up behind her. Up close, the ladder looks plush, as if made of a cotton-like vapor, and slightly gives way under their touch, but holds firm. Static dances along its edges. Sky steps on the bottom rung and watches for the tempo indicator. 60 BPM flashes on the rung, and Sky counts off. 1, 2, 3. Their crew climbs behind Sky, scarcely breathing. Hearts pound, sweat drenches foreheads. 10, 11. The tempo indicator suddenly flashes 90 BPM, and Sky spits out, Faster now, everybody. 18. Cat stumbles, one foot slipping through her rung. The ladder tremors and sends ripples up its length. Its low hum morphs to a low alarm. Its indicator changes to 120 BPM and turns red. Sky hops from the top rung to the cottony level above. Faster, faster, she urges into her mouthpiece. 20. Jazzer hops from the top rung and helps Cat, who's behind him. She wobbles. The alarm grows louder as Ren carefully makes his way up the last few rungs. Sunita, who's behind him, mutters, Fuck this, move it. She punches Ren's butt. He gasps and scrambles onto the top level, then falls to all fours. The quintet looks around, taking in the audio level. Bass and treble clefs and notes of all varieties are etched into the padded walls as far as their eyes can see. A series of cottony doors stretch as if infinite in number, each with a different hieroglyphic set woven into the frame. So, Sunita asked Jazzer, can you figure out which door leads to M-Jax's voice bank before the cloud's defragmenter reorganizes everything? Didn't you say that happens every 5 minutes? Young man, course I can. He curls his bottom lip. The question is, can Rain put his talent to use and refrag the hiero after I narrow it down? Ren rolls his eyes. Yo, not so gentle man. Of course I can. Why else would you use me instead of some fancy program? We just want you to feel like... Knock it off, measure later, Sunita interrupts. The ladder's alarm is still going, so sentinels could be here any minute. Jazzer glares at Ren, but pulls his eye-tech out of his satchel, projecting a map of shifting nodes. Ren, watch for those recursive glyphs, man. And Cat, he looks at the newbie. If you hear singing, don't respond. Cat bites her bottom lip but nods. The shifting nodes spin around dizzyingly fast before settling into place. One node has a pink dot on it. Jazzer spins around, points at a door. There, Ren, you got 3 minutes before the change. Ren races over to the door, his feet nearly sinking into the cotton-like floor. He squints and runs a hand over the glyph, murmuring under his breath. M-Jax's voice floats out of the room. Cat trembles. Steady, Sunita says, holding her arm. Not yet. 2:30, Sky warns Ren. The of marching sentinels wafts from the lower level. Hurry! Sunita whisper hollers. Almost there, Ren confirms as the images dance under his hand, realigning to spell out the celebrity's name in English. 2, Sky calls out. The grows louder. Less than, Sunita calls out. They're almost to the ladder. On the door, the final image slots into place as the vibrates the cottony floor. Ren whispers the celebrity's name, causing the door to evaporate in a puff of smoke. The crew runs through, then turns around to face off. Interestingly, the door has reformed, its cotton-like form pulsing to the beat of an M-Jax song. Relaxing, the crew members turn 180 degrees looking for the vocal file. A gradient gold, silver, and bronze orb shimmers as it sits in a transparent box edged with gold on a misty pedestal in the center of the little sky blue room. Nanotech threads protract and retract from its center as M-Jax's voice rises and falls within. Cat runs over to the file, her eyes glittering like stars. It exists, she whispers reverentially. A foot from the prize, a pressure plate lights up. The song changes to the intro of an underground duet between the celebrity and another singer, Styles. Shortly, the male singer's voice wafts from the stand. Find your voice in the dark. Let a flame left a mark. The plate turns green. Silence. Sing her line, Sunita hisses. Kat's face pinks. Her throat feels like sandpaper. Oh, no, The plate lights up a red 1. Styles' vocals continue. Hearts hum slow, steady spin. Every beat pulls us in. The plate turns green. Kat stumbles but manages. Hold me close, lose the fight, so stay with me. The plate lights up a red 2. 3 strikes and you're out, man, Jazzer calls. It has to be exactly like her, Sunita whisper hollers, in her voice. The crew holds its breath as Styles' voice continues. Your touch burns sweet and wild, turns the storm from fierce to mild. Mimicking M. Jax's voice, Kat belts out. In your eyes I can see all the songs left in me. No, Sunita cries. The plate lights up a green 1. Oh, Sunita gasps. That one was a misstep on M. Jax's part, Kat explains and listens for the final coupling. The pad turns green. Should we burn out, let it be, love's final note, you and me. Kat sings in unison with Styles, holding the last high note. The plate lights up a green 2. What is the unreleased subtitle of that song? M. Jax's voice asks. Oh! Kat looks around at her crewmates. None have an answer. I know you got this, Kat, Sunita encourages. The plate lights up red. The click, click, click suddenly sounds outside the room. The door shudders. The plate lights up red. I got it, Kat yells. 2 voices, 1 pulse, she tells the file. The fades away. The plate lights up a green 3, and with M. Jax's falsetto A note, the box creaks open. Kat lifts the metallic orb, gold lighting her face. Her voice trembles. We did it! Sunita touches Kat's forearm. And if we want that 2 mil each, we gotta go. Now! Kat hands the orb to Jazzer, who waves his hand over his eye-tech, then places the file in its containment pack. The crew races to the door. Sunita peeks out, exhales. No sentinels. Move it, everybody. Move it. The quintet dashes to the ladder, climbing down per Sky's sound off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ren keeps an eye on his cousin above him, while Jazzer checks gravity's status. Still steady, May. 7, he says between Sky's count. 8. At the bottom, hands shake as the crew clips onto the tether. One more hurdle before victory. Sky looks up and grins. Now that was like, seriously? You're too much, May, Jazzer responds. No! Everyone else groans in tandem. The end.
Perfect refrain. Until the trumpet sound and beyond, until the end of days have been spun. Until the end of days have been spun. Until time has started to absorb and light and dark. I will love you. Stay fun. That is how long I will love you. Until sunrise, Sicilian sunrise, I will love you. Until the sun returns, no longer I love you till days are stuck on it, and I just got prideful quantum of different moon cycles, new, half full. I love you till gravity no longer has